want to be an assessor.
Hello! We are back.
Yeah.
We've done it again.
We did it.
Yeah. Yes! So,
welcome to our nondescript hotel room in an undisclosed location.
Yep, we're hoteling again.
We're hoteling.
That's half or more of the life of assessors.
I would say
we've talked about that.
Yeah, we are in hotels very often.
More than once. So we're in a hotel, and so what are we going to talk about tonight, Kaitlyn?
I was hoping we could do another deep dive.
Oh, on methods.
On methods.
I love that idea.
All
okay,
right.
let's pick some of the really hard methods.
Oh, I love that idea.
Okay, let's pick pH.
Sounds great.
All right.
So hard.
The method itself is not particularly hard.
Mm-hmm. And yet we write so many findings.
We do tend to write a lot of findings on pH, which is, we're sad when we have to write a finding on pH. So we want to do a deep dive on it and talk about some of the findings that we write so that y'all can avoid them.
Absolutely.
You don't have to get findings on pH. Trust us.
Yep. So as a baby chemist, my idea of pH was that I take my sample and I take my probe and I stick my probe in the sample and then I get a number between 1 and 14 and I write that number down and I'm done.
Yay. And
is great.
That's a part of it.
But this is regulated science. So therefore, that thing we just did, we don't get to do yet.
Well, you get to do it, but it's not all there is.
No,
there's
a lot more to it.
It's the meat of it, but all of the bread that goes on the sandwich, and the bread and the veggies and all that stuff. If we're going to use that analogy, there's a lot more to it. Mm-hmm. So first you have to calibrate your pH meter. Mm-hmm. Now, most people use 4500 H plus. Standard methods 4500 H plus. There's also not standard methods, EPA 9040.
9040.
C is usually the one that's used, I think, and EPA 9045. Mm-hmm. I forget which letter is used for 90.
I don't remember either.
Okay, one of those is the solid method.
Mm-hmm.
It's either the 40 or the 45. I don't remember details like that.
Well, you did better than I did. I had the standard methods ones. I don't have the EPA ones quite there yet.
There's another EPA one, 150.1.
Okay, is that the corrosivity standard?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
So they all have little uniquenesses as isms. Let's go with that. So the standard method's 4500 is a pretty basic, simple method. So it requires that you calibrate. It does not require that you calibrate every day of use. However, most people do. And that's a long standover from previous versions. The previous version of Standard Methods 4020 did require daily calibrations, but that was for every 4500 method. That was for every 4000 method. And so many people didn't do it on, and it's not necessary, on, CCVs, double checking every day. It should be plenty. But everybody got into the habit of calibrating their pH meter every day. So be sure and read your method. And if you're using 4500, double check the version of Standard Methods 4020 that you are using, because some methods in there say that you have to do daily calibrations. Mm-hmm. And some say as needed, which means when your CCV doesn't pass. Your CCV in this case is going to be your second source buffer, right? Which is usually a 7-ish. So yeah, there's that little caveat. So you have to calibrate pretty much, most people do it every day. Let's assume you're going to calibrate every day because you buy the buffers, you might as well use them. I was in one lab, poor things. They ordered buffers. They didn't specify the units. They bought cases.
Oh no. That's so much.
They had cabinets of the 1 liter buffers.
Oh my God. Oh man.
I was like, I don't think you will ever, you should sell it on Etsy or eBay or something.
Or,
donate
it to the university
or something. There's no way you're going to be able to use it. Because I bought it for 3 buffer points.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, so know your units when you're ordering, by the way. So then, and they only bought 3. Would that work today?
That would not work today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, someone has read the rule. We have a new interpretation of the rule that electrode specific, electron iron, the proby
the
ones.
ISE.
There we go.
It stands for ion selective electrode.
I had the words just in the wrong order.
You did. You iron. We were a letter off.
It is so late, guys.
It is. Time wise. With the other advantage of traveling is you get to try all the time zones to determine which one you like or don't like. But your body may have different choices or different ideas about that.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, so ion selective electrodes, of which there are a lot. I mean, there's cyanide, there's fluoride, nitrate, alkaline.
Chlorine.
They come in a bunch.
Fluoride.
There's a bunch of them.
So many.
Yeah. So a lot of times those are calibrated point to point, which means that, the first point to the second point should be aligned, which it would be because it's 2 points. And then the third point to the fourth point. See, I'm remembering that high school geometry. Anyway, the whole idea of the TNI standard is that calibrations need to have, if they're going to be linear, if you're going to calculate it linearly, then you have to have a minimum of 5 points. And so everybody said, wait. Stop. That can't be true for ISEs because those are point-to-point calibrations, and so that doesn't really mean it. And so they put in a standard interpretation request, SIR for short, and said, you don't mean that. That's a great rule. Love it. Not for ISEs. And the committees that came back said, yeah, we mean it for ISEs too. Do this and I'll figure out.
Yep. So with that, we now get to go up to 5 points for pH because TNI dictates that if you want to use a linear model, those straight line point to points, you have to lose at least 5 calibration points to get a good enough calibration. And that's just for linear. Obviously, if you want to do other things, then you need to do more points, but we're going to stick to just 5 points for pH. Now,
do you mean that all the time?
Not all the time.
Not all the time? When can you not do 5
there
points?
There are a few exceptions.
Cool.
Such as if your meter is too dumb.
Is not capable of doing 5 points. If the meter can't do 5 points, then you don't have to do 5 points. You don't get to decide that your meter is that dumb. Yeah. You have to actually read the book for your meter.
So I know all of you out there listening are going to go immediately open up the drawer that has the manual in it and pull it out and flip through and see if you can do it.
And see how many points it'll
accept and allow. And then eventually freak out because if it's smart, now you have to go
5 points.
Which doesn't mean you can do the 4, the 7, and the 10 that you're usually doing. You now need
the 2 and the 12. are usually the ones that people do. But you can do others. You can do an 8. You can do
a 6.
It's 6
or 5.5.
You know,
I've even seen,
and it doesn't necessarily make sense and is logical. It's what it says, unfortunately. So, first bit of good news for pH is you get to do 5-point calibrations.
Oh yes.
Yes. Good news. Good news. All right. What else? What are the other fun things that we see on pH? Smart meters.
Smart meters. Speaking of dumb meters, there are also smart meters in our world, and a smart meter is one that is capable of storing data onto the actual physical device.
Right, like the calibration that you just did and what the slope was, and so that it uses that to calculate the actual sample that when you eventually get around to running a sample.
Absolutely. And it doesn't just override it every single time. It might be able to have the storage capacity to have last calibration from yesterday on it.
Right. Which would be great.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to calibrate every day. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be so nice. Now, where does the problem come in with having a smart device?
They're too smart.
They're too smart.
There is a requirement in the standard, in the ISO standard. This isn't even TNI. This is ISO, which TNI is based on, to back up all electronic records. So now we have electronic records. So you have to back them up. How do you tell if your device is a smart device? I mean, do you ask it? Excuse me, what's your IQ? If it's above such and such, no. You check to see if it has a USB port or Ethernet port or some sort of port to use to read data into and out of the instrument.
And I will say, if it is Bluetooth compatible or Wi-Fi enabled, then it is definitely too smart. And why are you typing things in manually when it can just automatically do it to the spreadsheet itself?
Yes, or your bench sheet, whatever. Please quit typing or writing stuff. We're huge fans of automation. That's a great thing because typos happen. And so, but yes, if it's smart enough to tell you what it knows somehow, some way, then you're going to have to back it up. Now, what do you have to do with the data when it's backed up? That's not in the standard. You need to back up all electronic records, whether you need and keep them for the minimum time that you keep records. 5 years in the case of TNI. 10 or
drinking
12
water, 12 lead and copper, infant DOD.
Yeah, so depends on the rules that, who you're working with, but so you don't have to have a way to read it, or you have to have a way to read it. I fibbed. But you don't have to have a thing that does something with it or puts it into a spreadsheet or into the LIMS or anything. You just have to back up your electronic records. So once a month, go stick a flash drive in it and copy everything down to it and record that you did it and store the flash drive somewhere or put it on I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just
don't matter.
Back it up.
Do it.
Just do it. Yes. Yes. That's all. Just do it. Okay, so we've got a calibrated pH meter that we have backed up.
That is either too smart or too dumb to do 5 points.
and we've calibrated it to 5 points or less, and we know that it's less and why. Okay, what else are we going to do?
Oh, thermometers. There are
we have to know what the temperature is that you take the pH at. Okay, everybody who knows that the pH is temperature dependent, raise your hand.
I knew that one.
You knew that one.
Yeah.
That's right. It makes a difference. If you boil a sample and take its pH, it will be different than if you ice a sample and take its pH. They are temperature dependent. The pH changes with the temperature. Therefore, you are required to document the temperature at which the pH was taken. Got that? You take the pH, you write down the temperature at that moment in that sample. Mm-hmm. Most of the pH meters, dumb and smart, have the ability to have a temperature probe attached to them and put into your sample at the same time. Many of the meters are smart enough to do that, and they have a little port in the back where you can plug one in. Mm-hmm. If you don't, just a hint, if you do not plug a thermometer probe into the thermometer probe slot, you do not have a thermometer on your pH meter. Nope. I don't know how many times we've been in the lab. Another hint, if you don't know if you have a thermometer on your pH probe, if when you turn on your pH meter and every temperature that it gives you, every temperature that it gives you is the same, usually 20 or 25 degrees Celsius, you do not have a thermometer associated with that probe. No. That meter. It's just not there. That's the default answer. And if it never changes, it's always on the default answer, and you don't have a thermometer on there. Mm-hmm. So you need to put a thermometer on there. And it should be verified, like every other thermometer in the laboratory, annually. Say it with me. Annually. That means once a year, 12 months. Do it.
Give it a birthday.
Give it a birthday.
Celebrate it.
And just verify it. Mm-hmm. Just say it's good at this temperature. So those are two little features of pH. the temperature.
Oh, yeah.
Is a big one.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. So now that you have the temperature, write it down. Basically, get used to the fact that pH, the method of pH, has two analytes to report. You must report the 1 to 14 number. Do they go under 1? I don't think they do.
I would be worried about your meter if you got something under 1, because it is no longer working. It has read its last sample.
14. Yeah. Anyway, so you need to write down the temperature and the pH. So you've got your number 1 to 14, and you have your temperature. Temperature always needs to be reported with the pH. I don't care if they took the temperature out in the field when they picked up the sample and they brought the sample to you and you measured it. You still have to write down the pH, the temperature where you took the pH. Mm-hmm. That it's just a given. Just always, always, always. pH has a very long holding time.
Oh, yeah. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Decades. Long time. Most of the time, if you are not measuring the pH within that 15 minutes, then you are qualifying the data as being run outside hold time. Mm-hmm. So know that. Be okay with that. If it is measured in the field and they wrote down the temperature and the pH, then you can say it was taken within 15 minutes and you don't have to qualify it. That's a field pH. That's not a lab pH. Mm-hmm. If the field is outside the back door of the lab, then I know there are real fields out there, but
we could be talking about a plant, which it is right out the back door.
Yeah, the water plants, wastewater plants, that's true. So people go and get the sample and they bring it back and they take the pH right away. Yeah. Those don't have to be qualified, but nope. Most of the time pH is qualified as being outside of hold time. Mm-hmm. Just the way it goes. Yep. What other fun stuff? There's still more.
There is still more. So we touched a little bit about temperature.
Temperature.
The other half of not only writing it down onto your bench sheet, but now that two analyte prong, the pH and the temperature, have to get on the final report itself.
Yes, true.
Because again, it is two analytes and we need both of that data in order to actually get the true result for pH.
Yes. We should talk about auto temperature compensation, the ATC thing.
Ugh.
Okay, short answer. Most of the temperature probes associated with pH meters are ATC, auto temperature compensating. That's great. That means that the pH that the meter is showing has been adjusted for the pH that was read. But you still need to report them both so that if somebody else says, but I had a secondary sample or a split sample or whatever, and I took the pH, and they should report the temperature too. And if their temperature is 3 degrees higher than yours was, and their pH is different, you can probably associate it with the fact that they were temperature dependent and were taken at different temperatures. So you always report, everybody gets to always report pH and temperature together. And they are compensated. It is a compensated value. So that's great. That's fine. But still report the temperature.
Which gets into the ATC segment that we will cover a different day, as far as conductivity, because their ATC temperature sensors work in the opposite direction of the pH meters. But again,
another day.
I'm going to put a pin in that one.
Yeah.
Because
we need to write it in our system.
We're going to put a pin in it because my brain can't handle it right now.
I know.
Because one of them goes up and the other one goes down.
Yeah.
And
all right. So we got ATC. The number that you were given was a compensated temperature pH.
Mm-hmm.
Was a compensated pH based on the temperature that was read.
There we go.
I said it. And gave me reporting. So you got to report the two values. You have to use the correct units is the other fun thing about pH. There are specific units. There's very specific units for soil pH, 9045. Whichever one of the two, 94 somethings, it specifically says, and so does standard methods, says that you will report soil pH as pH measured in water at a temperature of fill in the blank with the temperature that you did that. So a lot of labs have just reported the pH and the temperature, and then they say the units are something along the lines of soil measured in water, soil pH measured in water, because you measure soil pH in the water.
Because believe it or not, if you were to take that pH probe and stick it in a jar of sand, it wouldn't give you any readings.
None, or not an accurate reading.
Give you something, and it would freak out, and then be like, "No."
Yeah, it would be different every time based on where you stuck it in there. There are flat pH readers, probes that are used for reading agar media, for instance, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about solid soils. Sort of thing. Those. No, you have to put it in water, and you can't put it in 45 gallons of water to draw two little scoops of soil sample. It has to be no worse than a 1-to-1. So don't dilute your soil down with too much water.
Yes.
The pH units for water samples are also not simple.
Agreed. They usually are pH units, whatever your pH is, pH units, at temperature. Now, sometimes limb systems do not like this.
Yeah, that's a really weird unit.
Because it's very long. And it's not standard because the temperature
every
changes.
time you change every measurement.
Yeah, every summer, every winter, every turn on of the AC.
Yeah. Yeah. So many labs get around that by reporting 2 analytes per pH. Mm-hmm. One of those being the temperature. Mm-hmm. So
it shows up not in this line item, but as a lined item.
Right. That's a good way to say it.
Thank you.
So
other pH things that have
arisen as findings,
gotten to many a lab is, if you're pouring your sample into a little cup, that little cup is now holding sample and therefore has to have a name,
a label or something to indicate who that is.
Who is she? What is she?
Yeah.
Is it acid? Is it base? Is it drinking water? Is it the water from the water bottle? I don't know.
My favorite is to say, if I give you 3 little cups and I tell you that one of them has hydrochloric acid and one of them has vodka and one of them has sodium hydroxide, go forth and drink. Would you prefer to have labels on your cups?
Happy drinking. Don't die.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a 1 out of 3 chance there that it would be good. Hopefully it's good vodka.
At
the very least. But anyway. So yes.
Label your cups.
Yeah.
Even for pH.
Even for pH. Yeah. Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah. Oh, corrosivity. We touched on it, and corrosivity also has some funky things going with it.
Yeah, 150.1.
Uh-huh.
You must do a duplicate. Mm-hmm. All the time, do a duplicate. Now, a duplicate is not take your pH probe, put it into your lovely labeled sample cup, and take a reading. And take the probe out of this lovely labeled sample cup and then put it back into the lovely labeled sample cup and take another reading. That is not a duplicate. A duplicate is having 2 lovely labeled sample cups. I'm like it saying lovely labeled sample cup. That, are sample A and B out of the same container and you take the measurement from each. That's a duplicate. It's not a duplicate to do 2 readings out of the same cup.
That's a different thing.
That's a replicate.
Mm-hmm. We're not touching
We're not going to replicates.
We're putting a pin in it for later.
Mm-hmm. We really should keep a list of our pens.
Yeah. I'll make up a system for that.
All right. Is there more? I'm thinking we're coming to the end.
We're coming to the end, but another one that I commonly see, specifically for corrosivity, because it does tend to have some gross samples. Maybe not gross, but maybe some extreme samples that are outside of our usual range. Yeah, so at least if you the typical 3 points. The 4, the 7, and 10 covers this range. A lot of the times our corrosive samples will be closer to the 3-2 range, in which case you then need to bracket your range of use.
Yeah, but that's going to be solved by the fact they have to do 5.
If their instrument can do 5. See, we're solving problems, not causing them. No.
True. But if your instrument is too dumb to do 5 points and you can only do 3 points, then you have to change the 3 points that you use so that you could bracket and you use the 2 as one of your points and go up to 7 or 10 or 1 to 12 or I don't care.
Whoever.
But if you've got a sample that's lower than your low point of your curve, then you need to use something lower. Now, pH is a slightly unique animal that it only has numbers 1 through 14. And so if you get a 13.8, I haven't seen a 14
Mm-mm.
or a 1.
Mm-mm.
So usually 2 and 12. I think I've seen a 13, but standard. But most of the time you can get away with bracketing with a 2 or the 12, making sure that your meter is capable of reading at the extremes, not the far extremes, but the extremes.
Yes.
So try that.
And I think those are my usual findings as far as pH.
I can't believe that we spent 30 minutes talking about pH.
I know.
And it's one of the simpler tests.
It really,
half
really
a
is.
page. The method itself is not hard, depending on which one you read. But they're all very, very similar.
Oh, yeah.
But they all also have these little things that, oh, yeah, T&I has added some of it.
That's
T&I's fault for the 5 points. And
ISO as well.
Yeah.
For their backing up
and
of
the backing
data.
up of the data. Yeah. So it's not all the pH method's fault, but still. So yeah. Anyway, that's pH. That's our
pH.
deep dive on pH.
That's a deep dive.
I think it worked okay.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you have any thoughts on pH or any other common findings that we forgot to list off, or a finding maybe your lab got that we didn't touch on that we would like to add to our repertoire.
Yeah.
And as always, tune in next time where we will go over paint filter for an hour.
We love these tough tests. I don't think it'll take us quite an hour.
I don't know. I didn't think
pH would take this
30
long.
minutes.
I know we were planning on doing both.
I know.
We thought 15 minutes each.
Yeah.
But, it didn't work that way.
Who knows? But
so hopefully you got something out of this. If not a giggle or two, then some new news on pH.
I almost think that this video is actually longer than if you were to actually go and read pH.
It probably is. Well, we added some commentary. We added
That's
amusement.
value added.
Value. That's us. So we are doing good things for people.
So like and subscribe if you want to have more of our content. As always, feel free to leave a comment. Email us at assessorpodcast@gmail.com. If you have either of our emails, feel free to use it if you want to see something on the pod, or have general questions. If they are in a territory where we may charge you, we may charge you.
We'll tell you first.
We'll let you know. We're nice like that.
Yeah.
As always, like and subscribe. It helps the channel. Hit the bell in the...
You keep telling me there's a bell in the corner. I have yet to see the bell. I think we're done for today. All right. Bye.